Need some coins for rookie premieres? Head on over to rockbottomcoins.com for the safest and cheapest coins anywhere. Use code Zirksee at checkout for a 10% discount on your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What is going on, guys? It is Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over which edition of Madden 19 should you guys get. Now, there's definitely a couple of different things to look into this to see if it is actually worth it to spend an extra $20 on the Hall of Fame edition. Now, a couple different things I should point out. Obviously, the Hall of Fame Deluxe Edition is without a doubt made for Ultimate Team. Obviously, you get more Ultimate Team stuff, and that's literally it. So if you guys are playing Ultimate Team, then this applies to you. Now, if you're not really like a hardcore gamer, you really don't care that much about playing Madden. You're just kind of one of those people that get it every single year, and you just play now, maybe against your brother, against your friends, whenever they come over. You don't really play it that much. Then maybe the Hall of Fame edition isn't exactly for you. And if that's the case, you might not even want to pre-order. You might just want to wait until possibly later in the year. But I'm also going to go over in this video how you guys could possibly get the game for free, which should be coming out within, I think, probably a week or maybe a week and a half. But we'll get into that later in the video. But what I want to go over right now is I'm going to go into detailed, basically all of the pre-order bonuses and kind of compare them. Now, of course, with the standard edition, first off, you get to play the game on August 10th. Now, that's still like 2 weeks earlier than it has, I think, literally like ever been, at least for the past couple of years. Usually the game comes out around my birthday, which is the 23rd. I think last year it came out on the 22nd. So it's basically almost 2 weeks early this year, which has some people kind of scared because they don't know if it's actually going to be that good. But that'll be a different video for when the game actually comes out. But obviously, with the Hall of Fame edition, you spend the extra $20, you get 3 days of early access. Now, this is where the Ultimate Team stuff really comes into effect. Now, of course, if you play Ultimate Team, you want to be able to get on as soon as you possibly can because, of course, 3 days early access. There are so many different things you can do, and one thing I'm going to go over in a little bit. I want to go over some other stuff first, but it is definitely huge when it comes to 3 days early access. Now, 2 things you get the same would be 1 of 32 elite players from your favorite NFL team, which of course I already have a video up on that, which elite player you guys should choose. Of course, I believe they're going to be 80 overalls, just like they were last year. So, it's, not anything special. 80 overall players still not too bad if you want to go with like a depth position, like a corner, wide receiver, something like that. Just get somebody on your team that maybe you can still use in a couple months. And of course, 5 gold team fantasy packs. Now, if they're like they are in Madden 18, essentially what they're going to be, I believe, is probably 2 gold or better players, and then probably 3 silver or better players. So you're most likely get maybe 1 elite or a couple golds. Now, of course, when it comes to actually going into the gold team fantasy packs, there's a couple different things you can choose. You can either, 1, look at the MUT database, which the MUT database will be coming out actually on Monday. So that's very, very nice. We can actually see exactly which teams have which elites, but you can kind of go either with which teams have the most elite players, and you could go with that to give yourself a better chance of pulling elites, or you could go with which teams have the most expensive elites. Now, of course, the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, the Patriots, probably the best option just because you have Tom Brady and you also have Rob Gronkowski. You could go with maybe the Steelers. You get Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Big Ben. Those guys should all be pretty high overall players. The Rams as well, maybe get Todd Gurley, Aaron Donald, Sue, Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters. There's a ton of different options, and honestly, even the Cowboys too. Of course, I'm a Cowboys fan, but Zeke, Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, of course, all going to be very high players, and as well as DeMarcus Lawrence. So there's really a ton of different teams that you could choose for that. But of course, with a Hall of Fame edition, not only do you get 5 Go Team Fantasy Packs, in total, you actually get 12. Because you get 7 extra for going with the Hall of Fame Deluxe Edition, which of course, in my opinion, is pretty dang good. Out of a gold team fantasy pack, it's pretty likely that out of 5, you're at least going to get 1 or 2 elites. I feel like that's most, like, guaranteed basically to happen. Out of 12, you should probably get at least 3 or 4. So that being said, if you go with the right team, pull the right elite, you could definitely make some very, very good coinage off of the gold team fantasy packs. Next up though is where we start looking into some databases. Now we have 1 of 5 elite Hall of Fame legends, which of course is the GOAT players. Now, if we take a look at them in Madden 18 at the beginning of the year, of course we had Jerry Rice, who was an 85 overall, who had 85 speed, 78 release, 84 route running, 82 catching traffic, and 80 jumping. I don't think a lot of people really went with Jerry Rice. Barry Sanders, 87 juke move, who had an 86 speed. We also had Deion Sanders, which I believe was my pick, 87 speed, 89 acceleration. We also had Tom Brady, who is an 86 overall. There's an 85 overall version of Tom Brady with 58 speed, 86 short, 85 medium, 82 deep. Now, an interesting thing is that they actually added in more GOAT players, I think like a week or 2 after the game was actually released. They added in Bo Jackson, Ronnie Lott, Randy Moss. So they added in those 3 later in the game. And then of course we also had Ray Lewis. And then they also made it so where we could upgrade the 85 overall players, I believe all the way up to like 90s. So keep that in mind with these GOAT players. You get a GOAT player that's going to be an 85 overall most likely on your team, which I actually searched up Madden 19 GOAT players in Google to try and find my thumbnail. And luckily I did actually get it. So these are the GOAT players that we have for Madden 19. Of course, 85 overall is just my guess, I guess. Of course, I'm pretty sure they're going to be 85 overalls, but of course these players are not the actual card art. But T.O., Brian Urlacher, Terrell Davis, Dan Marino, and Rod Woodson. Now, here's the thing. I already made videos going over which GOAT players choose, obviously with this thumbnail, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, I would not go with a QB because you do not want to get stuck with one quarterback for a good amount of time, because honestly that's not very fun, and I really don't think you guys want to do that. Brian Urlacher could be pretty good if you don't use your middle linebacker. Terrell Davis, of course, probably going to be better running back options, so I would go with the depth position, so basically anyone with quarterback basically. But Rod Woodson and T.O., in my opinion, probably the best 2, and of course I'll get into a little bit more into these pre-order bonuses, and in my opinion, probably Rod Woodson is the best GOAT player to pick, in my personal opinion. But that is it for the GOAT players. We also have 1 elite cover athlete player, which it has not been officially confirmed or whatever, but we do know for a fact that it is indeed Antonio Brown. Now, it's most likely going to be an 80 overall player, so yeah, you're probably going to get an 80 overall Antonio Brown. But that is definitely pretty nice news because you also get to pick 1 elite player from your favorite team. So if you want to go with wide receiver or something and get a free 80 overall Antonio Brown is definitely very nice. Now you also get 2 signature uniforms, which of course are just going to be like 2 custom uniforms that he decides to give you. And then 1 training pack, which you don't know exactly what that is, but it could be something pretty useful. The main reason I would say the Hall of Fame Deluxe Edition is definitely worth it is because of the 3 days early access. Now, the number one thing I would say about that is because the market, of course, is definitely extremely high as soon as the game comes out. So if you guys rip some packs, sell the elite players you make or that you get, you can definitely make a ton of coins off doing that. But the number one thing I would say, because with the 3 days early access makes it really, really worth it, is of course the journey and the gauntlet. Now this year, the player we got was 86 Devontae Adams. Now unfortunately he was NAT. In years past, I don't believe they've always been NAT. So if they make the journey player actually auctionable, or they have gauntlet players going to be auctionable again this year, this is pretty dang big. If you can get the gauntlet players, of course the gauntlet champions this year, it was kind of weird with how they did it. Exactly, you guys can see where you hit the gauntlet players. Of course we had to go through multiple gauntlets to get a player, but if they want to do it differently this year and just make the gauntlet players so you can get them right off the bat, if you have the game sooner, they're going to be going for more. That's just how it's going to work. As well as the fact that you get packs for completing the gauntlet and packs for doing the journey, and also coins. You can definitely get a head start on everybody else that is not going to have the Hall of Fame edition. Now, one thing I would say to you guys is I would actually wait to pre-order the game until maybe 2 days, a day, 2 days before the game actually comes out, because of course we have MUT rewards. Now, the past 2 years, they have done, maybe it was past 3 actually, 2 or I think it was 3. Yeah, so past 3 years, past 2 years, I've actually gotten a free copy of Madden. But the past 3 years, what they have been doing is essentially giving away free copies of Madden. Now, if you're in the legendary tier, which of course is 1,000 packs open, I've opened 5,140 packs in Madden 18. You can get randomly selected to get yourself a copy of Madden 19. Now, last year, or for Madden 18 anyways, they sent out 2 copies. I believe they sent out 2 copies, and I believe they were the GOAT edition, I think. I'm pretty positive they would go. If they're not, there's still a free copy of Madden. You get the game like literally early for free, and then of course you can just buy the GOAT edition add-on, which is only like 20 bucks if you actually have Madden 18 already. So with that being said, you guys definitely need to make sure you guys are signed up for MUT Rewards. Make sure you're all linked up for that, because if we do get it, 2 years ago what they did was actually deliver them in the mail. And what they did this past year for Madden 18 was they sent out emails. And I'm pretty sure they sent out the emails. I want to say that it was actually during the EA Access. I could be wrong with that. Maybe it was a day or two before Madden 19 actually dropped. But I do know for a fact that you definitely have a chance at getting a copy of Madden 19, especially if they do it again this year. It is definitely going to be very exciting. So, in my personal opinion, guys, I would say yes, it is worth it to get the Hall of Fame Deluxe Edition. Only $20 more. You get a ton of different stuff. You get to play the game 3 days early. If you guys are big into Ultimate Team, it's definitely nice to get that little advantage on everybody else. But if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment, and let me know down below, are you guys going to get the Hall of Fame edition, or are you going to get the standard edition? Personally, of course, I'm getting the Hall of Fame, essentially so I can get more packs for you guys, and also maybe go over the 80 overall Antonio Brown, some gameplay with him, some GOAT gameplay, and just show you guys the GOAT rewards for a video. But if you enjoyed the video, smack the like button, subscribe, and comment. I will see you guys next time.